Hey, welcome back to Mike's Wandering Mind, where today we wander into my armory. Looking at this is my first handgun purchase. This is the Shadow Systems MR920. And just to get it off right off the bat, this weapon is cleared and safe. There are no rounds in the chamber. There's nobody around anyway, so we are good to go. But kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on the gun. Because I did a little bit, I'll kind of back up here. When looking for my first handgun, everybody kept saying Glock or Sig, then, some threw out staccato and then HK and all that stuff. But when I walked into the gun shop, I was feeling up the Glock. Oh, that's weird. I was handling the Glock and as I was, it felt good in the hands, obviously, and everything like that, but it was my first handgun, so I wasn't exactly sure what I was looking for. And then the guy behind the counter says, hey, let me show you something. Pulls out the Shadow Systems MR920. And I really liked the way it felt in the hands right off the bat. So I was like, you know what? Yep, let's do it. They're a blue label, so we got a nice little discount on it. But yeah, so that's what kind of drew me into this gun here. So now moving forward, I've put about 350 to 500 rounds through it. I'd even say for 450 rounds. But they say the break-in period is, I think, about 300 rounds or so. And break-in period being you put enough rounds through it that now all the parts are kind of be operating the way that they should be. So I got this for my concealed carry, and obviously once I got it, immediately went to the range, started firing. And I just want to give in this video kind of my takeaway from it. I have a very small YouTube channel, so obviously I have no relationship with Shadow Systems. I am strictly just doing this because it, wanted to give my 2 cents on it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So I'll start off with things that I like, and then I'll move into things that I don't like / am curious about, because I don't want to say that I'll get to that when I get there. But let's start with things I like. So first, right off the bat, I love how aggressive this stipling is. It is very nice. I mean, the second you hold it in your hands, you feel like you've got a great grip on it. It's everywhere. It's, where you're putting your fingers at, front, back, sides, from the trigger pad. I mean, everything. It's nice to have all that, I think. I really enjoyed it. It was just really nice to have as the basic handgun, because this is something I should have probably included in the beginning, but the MR920, this is part of their Foundation series, so this is the basic weapon. There's no extras, there's no nothing. This is what it comes standard with. Even the freaking MOS plate, all this, it's great. It's great to have that as a standard, and not have to pay extras here and there for all these things. So those were just absolute home runs. I really liked the weight, the feel. It was really nice to hold. And then getting into kind of actually firing the weapon, it shot well, very smooth. I don't have any video or photos of me shooting, which I'll try and get next time if I do another gun review and stuff like that. Probably for my CMMG Banshee. But yeah, it shot so well. I had several others shoot the gun with me, and they all loved it as well. So it was just really, really well done. Really well made weapon. So that's what I really liked about it. It's gonna be my concealed carry, right? So I wanted to make sure that it operated very well, and all these things. So kind of now moving into what I wasn't so keen on and what I'm, and this is kind of weird. So what I'm curious about is probably more research I need to do on my end, but would love to hear from other people who are into weapons in the comment section, or even Shadow Systems themselves, uh, things like that. So first things first, I wasn't the biggest fan of the trigger. I would love to get the trigger redone. What I'm looking for, and this is the funny part, like I'm not sure, but I just know it's not this trigger. I would like something else. So I mean, obviously, that sounds really weird, and like I don't know what I'm talking about, which is both half true, right? Like I don't know what kind of trigger I'd want. I don't know where I'd even start to look. I just know that the trigger that is currently in there just doesn't feel good like the rest of the gun. But anyway, the other thing, and this is, and because really like the trigger was the only thing I didn't like about the gun. Everything else I liked about it. This is where I kind of transitioned to like hey, I'm curious. I looked on the website because I was looking for a trigger kit, which is on their website, which I love. And I love that I can go buy a new threaded barrel for here because I want to, and I'm eventually going to get it. The only thing I didn't find on there, which I was a little bummed and I'd love to find, is the slide. I want the other slide. I think it's the XR or the MR920 Elite slide. It's got the little window cut out and some serrations on the top here. And I really like the look and everything like that. So it was a little bummed to not see like that on the website available for sale, but I don't know why or whatever. But that'd be interesting to hit up their customer support and ask them, or what have you. But yeah, I would say that's really it as far as I could think of. I mean, it just went like a workhorse. I'd say the only hiccup, and I mean, you can barely count this really, is coming up on 150 rounds. I was shooting the other weekend with my buddy and his dad, and we're running through rounds. This thing's going, magazine after magazine after magazine is just going in and out of this thing, and we were coming up on the 100 to 150 round mark, and it jammed up like 2 or 3 times. But other than that, it shot every round fucking straight, right where we wanted it to go, and it felt good the entire time. And I mean, and let's be real, like if you're ever shooting over 100+ rounds in your handgun, you're probably not making it out of that scenario anyway, because I don't see why you'd ever need to shoot that many rounds in some sort of firefight as a civilian. But anywho, it did really well. I really liked it. Just for also some more context, like I've been shooting just some basic 9mm ammo. I don't have the grain size, but it's pretty basic stuff. Nothing special. So yeah, I haven't tried it with steel casing. I'd like to try it with that just to see how it goes. And just to kind of actually touch back, I just remembered this. It jammed up 2 other times. That was with some really old ammo. Now I say really old, I mean like really old ammunition, like 1990s Police Academy ammo. It was quite old. So, and that was only 2 rounds. The rest of the rounds that we shot that day, totally fine. So, yeah, it's been great. And then even when I did have those jams, quickly freaking cleared. It was ready to go again. I mean, it really is a nice gun. I really like it. I bought it for $540, came out to $570 with taxes for my state and stuff like that. But it is a blue label, I think, program or something like that, because I was able to get the discount to knock it down to $540. I think it was originally like $640 or $670, something like that. But yeah, so really nice. I forget if I mentioned it, so I'm just going to mention it one more time. It has the optics plate, which was super nice. This comes standard. I was able to pop this off. I was able to put a Holosun red dot sight on there for a little bit. I ended up taking it off just to work on some iron sight shooting. But yeah, super easy. to take on and off. I actually used no Locket or Loctite paste or anything on my screws, and I put probably about 150 rounds through, and that fucking sight didn't even budge, even without any Loctite. So that was pretty neat. But yeah, so overall, Shadow Systems MR920, great gun. If any of you have shot this before or shoot something similar, please let me know. I'm very interested to how other people feel in the Shadow Systems, because I feel like they're kind of on, not the hush hush, but like they're kind of on the back thought of people's minds when people come see guns, or they're not even thinking about them. They're only thinking about, like, you know, the other major brands, which they obviously have their right to be that. You know, they're seated up high on the totem pole. But yeah, if any of you have shot this, please let me know what you thought of it and all that stuff. And thanks for wandering with me into my army, and I will catch you in the next one.